Hey there, everybody. Welcome to a game I haven't played, or a replay I haven't gotten back to in about 2 months, so it's long overdue. I was in May Madness. That took a while, and now I'm doing the 84 inside pitch season replay, just playing a game a week. But I thought it was time to get back to some Stratomatic and some 1977 Chicago White Sox version of Stratomatic. Right now we are at game 118. And look at the standings, if you can see them. Let's see how well they show up on camera here. It's kind of light print. In the American League West, Texas is leading the American League West by 6.5 games over Kansas City, 10.5 over Minnesota, and 11.5 over the White Sox. Boston, a slim half-game lead over the Orioles, and the Yankees hanging around at 3.5 back. So that's where we stand right now as far as the standings go. Let's get to the starting lineup for both teams. These are the as-play lineups, of course. And this is a game against the Milwaukee Brewers in Milwaukee. Next game will be a doubleheader, so I've got to really be cognizant of not using up the bullpens too much if I can avoid it. Steve Stone will be on the mound for the Sox, and Jerry Augustine, the lefty, for the Brewers. Let's go through the lineup for the Sox. Ralph Garr is in left. Alan Bannister is at short. George Orta is at second. Richie Zisk is in right. Lamar Johnson's the DH. He's the right-handed platoon with Oscar Gamble against Augustine, the lefty. Soderholm's at third. Lemons in center. Spencer dropped all the way down to the eighth spot, lefty on lefty, so Bob Lemon said drop him down. And Brian Downing, catcher, bats ninth. For the Brewers, they will lead off with Fon Joshua in center. Wolford will be in right. Money's in left field. Cooper at first. Bando at third. Yount at short. Quirk the DH. Sakata at second. And Charlie Moore behind the plate. So let's get, this will be the first Strat video I've done, I think, since, well, with the Sox anyway, using the dice tower. So this will be a little bit different. I'm trying to figure out what setup works best. Trying to elevate the camera a little bit so you can see the dice tray results a little bit better. Sometimes when I roll in the dice tray, the dice get stuck back here, and if the camera's too low, you can't see it. So I'm trying to make it a little bit taller. That may make it harder to see the player cards. I don't know. It's an experiment, so we'll see what happens. Right now, Jerry Augustine on the mound for the Brewers. In 1977, he was 12-18 with a 4.48 ERA, the left-hander, Jerry Augustine. All right, at the plate rather, for the Sox is going to be Ralph Garr. And I hope you can see, it looks like it's a little bit of a distance, but it's a trade-off to be able to see the dice a little bit better. You might not be able to see the cards quite as good. Like I said, it's a work in progress, so we shall see. And for those that are not familiar with the rules on this, I am playing advanced only, except for fielding. I'm using super advanced fielding because the advanced fielding, in my opinion, yields too many errors. All right, so all that festivities are out of the way, and I do have the player stats, so I will read them off as they come up to the plate, so you can see how they're doing on the season replay. For the Sox, Ralph Garr, well, first of all, for the Brewers, Augustine on the replay is 9-12 with a 4.17 ERA. So he's having he had a rough year anyway, so he's kind of doing the same thing now. And leading off for the Sox, Ralph Garr, he comes into this game hitting .265, 5 homers and 40 runs driven in. So now we are underway, and the White Sox replay, 77 replay, is back in order. We're at game 118. I really want to get this thing finished. So let's get it going. 3-9 for Garr against the lefty is all these hits in column 3, and he found a fly ball to right field. So fly to right, one away, and that'll take care of Ralph Garr. All right, Alan Bannister is next, the shortstop. He's hitting .278, 3 homers and 35 runs driven in. 1-4 for Bannister against the lefty. He's going to ground it to third, and Bando will take that no problem. 2 down. So 2 up, 2 down for Augustine. Brings up George Orta, though, the second baseman. Orta coming into this game, .279, 12 homers and 53 runs driven in. 4-8 off of Augustine. Ground ball to first, handled by Cooper. 1-2-3 inning goes up the Sox for Augustine. He takes care of the Sox with no problems whatsoever. We go to the bottom of the first. It is Chicago nothing and Milwaukee coming to bat. And on the mound for the Sox, it'll be right-hander Steve Stone. Steve Stone comes into this, well, for the season rather, he was 15-12 with a 4.51 ERA. On the season replay, Steve Stone is 8-12 with a 3.77 ERA. Leading off for the Brewers will be Von Joshua, center fielder. Von Joshua. And on the season replay, Von Joshua checks in 248, 5 homers, 48 runs driven in. 3-3 for Von Joshua is a single. So leadoff single for Von Joshua. And keep in mind, I'm doing stealing. Everything I'm doing except for fielding is just advanced, not super advanced. Joshua's a C, so he won't try to steal, but he will be held. So that's important. He will be held. Here's Jim Wolford, and Wolford's the right fielder. He's hitting 236, 1 homer, and 23 runs driven in. Stoney delivers 2-5. Another single, this one to right field as well. So you wonder if Joshua would try to go to third. Now, he was being held, and there is nobody out, so do you really want to risk it? Zisk has a 0 arm, but with the runner being held, Joshua, he's down to a 15, so that's still a pretty good chance, 1-15. And then going from first to third on the ball to right, you add 2, so that's 17. So he's going to take the chance. 1-17, they're going to send him. And he just does make it in, so that extra boost for going to right field helped him out. So runners are at the corners with nobody out. Stone's in trouble early, as are the Sox. Don Money, the batter, 326, 17 home runs, 67 RBIs. It doesn't get any easier. 4-9 on Stone. Oh, it's definitely not going to get any easier. 1-12 is a home run. He does have normal power. So 1-12, it's a 3-run homer. And that's exactly what it is. So Steve Stone, not off to a good start, obviously. He needs Harry Carey or somebody to help him out. As that's a 3-run bomb, so maybe the layoff has really affected the Sox. 3-run bomb for Don Money, and for the season, that is home run number 18 for Don Money, and RBIs 68, 69, and 70. So 3-0 Brew Crew, and that's going to send up Cecil Cooper. Cooper on the season, 321, 14 homers, 88 runs driven in. 5-3 against the lefty. Ground ball pitcher X, he is a 3E14. So we use the super advanced chart. 3E14, a 3 and a 7 should be okay. 3 and a 7 is a G3. And that's a 13, and he is an E14. And when you know there's an error right there in the middle of that spot, so it's an E1. So more trouble for Steve Stone as he creates the error. Cooper is a B stealer. He will have to be held. He will not try anything, but he will be held. Here's Sal Bando, third baseman, hitting 268, 18 homers, and 70 runs driven in. 2-6 for Bando is a walk. So the troubles continue for Stone. And like I said, the next scheduled game is a doubleheader. So they were hoping to get some innings out of Stone, but he may not last. I mean, he hasn't even gotten out yet. And there's 2 on. 3 runs are already in. Brings up Robin Yount on the replay. Yount, 285, 3 homers, and 51 runs driven in. Sox need it out in the worst way. 4-11. And it doesn't get any better. 1-12 is a home run for Yount, but he does have weak power against righties. So it would be a single 2 stars if they get it 1-12. Not doing ballpark effects, so it's strictly 1-12. It's 16, so he will actually fly to left. And that's the first out of the ball game recorded for Stone, and he needed it big time. So he's out of there. Here's Jamie Quirk, the DH. He's 213, 1 homer, 17 runs driven in. 4-3. 4-3 is a fly ball right field X. That's Richie Zisk. Richie Zisk is a 4E6. So not much range. 4 and a 7. That's going to be questionable. Might be an SI2. Let's see. 4 and a 7 is in fact an SI2. So that'll be a single 2 stars. It's a 10, and he's an E6. I don't think there's anything, no error, but it's a single 2 stars. And that's enough to produce another run. As Cooper will score from second, it is now 4-0. That run's unearned because of the error previously on Stone. Now runners are on the corners with 1 out. 4 runs are already in. 1 more run, and Stoney goes to his fatigue grades in the first inning. Here's Len Sakata, Sakata coming in, checking in, and very minimal at bats. In fact, he's not even on my roster. Oh, I'm sorry, he is 264. He's had 110 at bats actually. 264, no home runs, and 18 runs driven in. 3-9, 3-9. He's going to ground to shortstop B. That's a fielder's choice, but the run's going to score. Probably should have had the infield in, but I was playing for 2. Just didn't work out that way. So now Stoney is at his fatigue. Hey Espo, how are you doing? And RJL, how are you doing? Now I'm not sure on fatigue for Stone because one of those runs is unearned. So actually out of the 5 runs, only 4 are earned. So I don't know if the earned runs is what gets him over to the fatigue or whether it's just runs. I guess I could check the rule book, but I really don't have time to look at the rule book right now. So I'm just going to play it like he's not tired yet. All right, Charlie Moore, 300 average, 4 homers, 28 RBIs. Yeah, not tired yet. That's what I thought. All right, 2-5 for Charlie Moore. He's going to fly to right, and that's going to mercifully end the inning. They send 9 to the plate. 5 of them score. Now these are the hitmen, so they can possibly do it. 5 runs scored, 4 earned, thanks to the error by Stoney in the middle of that melee. So they do have the lineup that can score 5 runs. It's just a matter of being able to pitch. So we go to the top of the second, 5-0 Brew Crew, and here's Richie Zisk. Richie Zisk will lead things off, and on the replay, Richie Zisk is hitting .314, 18 homers, and 71 driven in. 5-4 against a right-hander. Fly ball center field X. Center fielder is Von Joshua. And defensively, Joshua's a 3-E-13. 3 and a 3 could be trouble. 3 and a 3 for an outfielder is a double, 2 stars. So it's a double. Nobody's on base, so don't worry about the stars. Let's see here. And that is a 10. And he's an E13. No 10, but there is a double. So Richie Zisk drops it into the gap for a double, and they needed it because they got their work cut out for them. Richie's, hey, Utah, Mike, how you doing? Let's see, anybody else I missed? I apologize. I'm having a hard time keeping up with the chat and this melee that's going on. It's almost like May Madness here has hit the Sox replay. All right, here's Lamar Johnson, DH. He's hitting .286. 7 home runs and 50 runs driven in. Richie Zisk will not be held at second. 1-7 against a lefty is a walk. So Lamar Johnson will walk, and that's how you get back in the game, get base runners. So he's aboard for Eric Soderholm, third baseman. And on the replay, Soderholm 260, 18 home runs, 54 runs driven in. Infield double play depth, 5'11". Ground ball first base X, but nobody's being held, so first baseman Cooper will keep all his range, which in this case, his defensive range for Cooper, he's a 3-E-13, so he will keep that 3 because he's not being held. So 3-E-13 for Cooper. 3 and a 7. 3 and a 7 is a G3, so the runners will advance, and that is a 7. And I don't see an error there on a 7. And an E13, nope, no 7. So it's a ground out to first unassisted with the runners advancing to second and third. And actually that was a G3 with a pound sign, so had they been holding the runners, then that would have gotten through 4 hits. So that worked out for their favor not to hold them. Here's Chet Lemon. Chet Lemon, 268, 12 homers and 55 RBIs. Also 10 triples. Infield back, they'll give it the run to get the out. 4-10. 4-10 for Augustine against a right-hander is a catcher X. That's Charlie Moore. And this could be a troublesome, could be a pass ball, wild pitch, all kinds of good stuff. So let's see. Charlie Moore's a 4-E-5. Not very good. 4 and a 17 might help him, though. Let's see. 4 and a 17 is strictly a pop-out, PO pop-out, and a 10. So I don't think that's going to be an error there. 10 and an E5 should be no problems. Yep, no problem. It's just simply a pop out. So Lemon really bit on that one. Runners at second and third, less than 2 outs, and he could not advance them. So now it's up to Jim Spencer, first baseman. Jim Spencer, 247, 13 homers, 56 runs driven in. 1-8, lefty on lefty, and that's a walk. That's going to load the bases. So he didn't want to mess with Spencer, and he's going to deal with the number 9 hitter, Brian Downing, the catcher. Brian Downing coming to this game, 284, 3 homers and 20 runs driven in, but one swing of the bat gets him right back in the game. 4-4, ground ball third base X. That's Sal Bando. We'll check Bando's defense. Sal Bando checks in. 3 E16. 3 and an E16. 3 and a 9. 3 and a 9 is a G3, so good, he gets to it. E16 and a 9 should be okay, I would think. It is. 4 or 7 is bad, but 9's okay. So Augustine pitches around all that mess, and the Sox come away empty, much to the chagrin of Steve Stone. So we go to the bottom of the second, still 5-0 favor of the Brew Crew. And we're back to the top of the order again. Von Joshua singled and scored his first time. 1-9 for Joshua. It's going to strike him out, so maybe Steve Stone got his second wind. So Joshua's out on strikes. That brings up Jim Wolford. 2-9 for Wolford. He strikes out. So all of a sudden, Steve Stone must have got a pep talk from Bob Lemon. Here's Money. 3-8. It's a single. So 2-out single for Don Money. He's a C stealer. They will hold him, but he's not going to go anywhere. And here's Cecil Cooper. 6-8 against Stone against the lefty. Ground ball, second base X. That's George Orta. He is a 4 E23. And 11 is the one he can't have on the, so he didn't, 8's fine. 4 and a 15 is a good play. G3, it's all he needed. And the inning's over. So after many George Orta errors, I remember that an E23 has an 11 is their error rating at second base. So easy to determine that one. So we go to the top of the third, Augustine. Now we facing top of the order, Ralph Garr, flew to right his first trip. 5-12 against the lefties. Ground ball to second. Handled by Sakata. 1 away. One good thing about the Sox being on the road is they only have to pitch 8 innings if they're losing, so that saves their bullpen some. Here's Bannister. 5-7. Try to find every silver lining we can. Second base X, that's Sakata. So let's see. Sakata checks in as a 2E14. 2 and a 16, he'll get to that. E14 and an 8. E14, there is no 8, so it's a good play for Sakata. He's made 2 in a row. 2 up, 2 down, brings up George Orta. 3-11 for Orta against the lefty. Ground ball to first, Cooper's got it. Inning's over, so we go to the bottom of the third. Still 5-0. Favor the Brew Crew. Stone trying to hang on and save some of the bullpen, get some innings in, eat some innings up. Sal Bando steps to the plate. 4-10 for Bando. Fly ball center field. That's going to be caught by Lemon. 1 away. Brings up Robin Yount. 2-8 for Yount. Struck him out. So Stone doing very well now. Just that first inning got him. Here's Quirk, 6-8 against a lefty. Ground ball second base X. Again, that's Orta, 4E23. Trying to avoid the 11, which he did, but a 4 and a 5 might be a base hit, and it is. So that one snuck by Orta. Quirk is 2 for 2. He's an E stealer. He will not be held. Brings up Lenny Sakata. 4-7. Pop up to short. Bannister's got it. Inning's over. So 3 innings are in the books. And nothing's changed since the first. It's still 5-0. Favor of the Brew Crew. So now that brings up Richie Zisk. Zisk got everything started in the second, but then it fizzled out near the end. 3-5 for Zisk against the lefty is another single. So Richie Zisk, single and a double now. He's 2 for 2. He's an E-stealer. He will not be held. Lamar Johnson. 3-5 against the lefty. Ground ball pitcher A. That's a 1-4-3 double play. So just when you think they got something going, they hit into a twin killing. So 2 outs, bases clear for Soderholm. 3-12. That's a single to right field, so that double play really coming back to bite him. Soderholm's a D stealer. He will not be held. Here's Lemon. 5-5. Ground ball shortstop X. That's Yount. And nobody's being held, so they don't lose their range. Yount's a 2E28. 2 and a 9 should be okay, and it is. It's a G2. That's all they need. And that's a 10, so good play there. So it's, we call it a fielder's choice. We'll call it 6-4. Not that it matters. Inning's over. So Sox, again, hitmen are not hitting, and the pitching's not pitching. So other than that, they're doing fine. All right, here's Steve Stone, back out, trying to hang on, pitch some innings. Here's Charlie Moore. 6-8 for Stoney. Ground ball, second base X. Again, Orta's getting a lot of chances over there. 4E23. 4-12 will get to it. 8, no problem. So good play for George Orta. 1 down, and that brings up Von Joshua as the lineup flips again. 5-10. It's a walk. So Joshua with a 1-out walk. He is a C stealer. He will be held, but they're not going to try anything. Here's Wolford. 4-5. Struck him. Oh, I'm sorry. 4-5 is a ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is not responsible for holding the right-handed hitter. Second base is, so there won't be any reduction on Bannister. It's a good thing he's already a 4. Didn't want to go to a 5. He's a 4E48. 4-15 though might be a force play, and it is. It's a G2, and that's an 11 on an E48. E48. There's a 12, but no 11, so it's a force play. G2, so we get a 6-4. Fielder's choice. Puts Wolford on. He's a B stealer, but he won't go anywhere. He will be held, but he won't go anywhere. Here's Money. 1-7. Shortstop A again. He's not being held. The shortstop's not responsible, so it's just going to be a ground out. Ends the inning, so we're strolling along with zeros except for that first inning. Still 5-0 Brew Crew. And we get to Augustine. He's got a fatigue of 7, so he's still good for a while. And leading things off will be Jim Spencer. Walked his first time. 3-2 against the lefty. It's a Lomax. Nobody's on base, but it's just going to be a liner. Right to Cicada. 1 away. Brings up Brian Downing. 6-7 against a right-hander. Fly ball to center. Joshua hauls it in. 2 down. Not looking good right now for the Sox. Here's Gar. 4-9. Lefty on lefty. Is a fly ball to left. Sal Bando, a rare start at left field, is out there to make the catch, and the inning is over. Not Sal Bando, rather, it's Don Money. Sal Bando's at third. Money is the ones in left field. All right, so the inning's over. We go to the bottom of the 5th. Stone also has a fatigue of 7, but if he gives up 2 more earned runs, then he will be tired automatically. Here's Cooper. 1-5 for Cooper. That's trouble. 1-8 is a triple. 9-20 is a double. That is a 9. It's a double for Cecil Cooper. So Cooper leads off the 5th with a double. He's a B stealer. He will be held. Here's Sal Bando. 2-7 for Bando. He walks, and that puts 2 runners on, and starting to look a little shaky for Stoney. They need a double play big time. Here's Robin Yount. 4-7. Popped him up. That helps. Pop up to Bannister at short. Infield fly rule. 1 away. Brings up Jamie Quirk, who's 2 for 2. 4-7. Not this time. He lines it right to Spencer at first. 2 down. So Stone trying to pitch out of this. He's got to get by Len Cicada, who was 0 for 2. 4-8. Struck him out, so he did it. Steve Stone, if nothing else, he's eating up these innings and saving their bullpen for that doubleheader tomorrow. So taking one for the team, as they say. We go to the 6th. Still 5-0. Favor of the Brew Crew, and Augustine pitching a shutout. Brewers won this game in real life. I think it was 4-2. Don't remember the exact score, but I know they won it in real life. All right, here's Bannister, and Stone did pitch a complete game. Gave up 4 runs, but only 1 was earned. All right, here's Bannister. 3-7 for Bannister against the lefty. That's a base hit. 1-4 is a double. Anything else is a single. And that's a single for Bannister. Start things off in the 6th. Breaks this to George Orta and Bannister. D stealer will not be held. Orta 6-8 against the lefty. Ground ball to first base B. It's a fielder's choice. So Cooper will go the short way to Yount for the force. Orta's aboard. He gets a D stealer. He will not be held. Here's Richie Zisk. Single and a double. 5-9. Ground ball to first again. Fielder's choice. So back-to-back fielder's choices, 3-6. And that's not helping the Sox cause by any means. Brings up Lamar Johnson. He hit into a double play last time. 3-5. This time he would have hit into a double play again, but there's already 2 outs. So just a regular old ground out to the pitcher. And Augustine. Mr. Augustine, 6 shutout innings of the Southside Hitmen. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still 5-0. Brew Crew. I think I forgot to give you the season records. I showed the standings. Okay, that's good. I showed the standings in the beginning. But anyway, Chicago comes this game 62-55. Milwaukee comes in 60-65. All right, here's Charlie Moore, number 9 hitter. 1-4 for Moore. He grounds it to third. Soderholm's got it. 1 away. And we'll bring up Von Joshua. 1-5 for Joshua. Struck him out. Boy, Stoney showing some stones right here to pitch through all this. Wolford, 3-8. Ground ball to short. That's going to end the inning. So Stoney has done what they needed him to do. He's at least made it through 6 innings. He might make it through 7. We have to wait and see. We go to the 7th, 5-0. And since this game is in Milwaukee, there will be no Harry Carey at 7th inning stretch, because that wouldn't be right. He would not invade County Stadium to do that. So here's Soderholm to lead off against Augustine. This is his point of weakness inning. 5-4. Fly ball center field X. That's Joshua. And I believe I said he was a 3E13. Yep, 3E13 for Mr. Joshua. 3-1. That's going to drop in. Probably a double. Yep, it's a double. 10. No error there, but it's a double. Leadoff double for Soderholm, as Joshua was unable to get to it. Can the Sox actually put a run on the board? We shall see. Soderholm not being held. Oh, that one didn't go right. That one of them didn't go through the chute, so let's do it again. 4-8. 4-8 for Augustine. 1-15 is a single. Anything else 16-20 to line up to short. The single is 1 star. And it's an 18, so it doesn't matter. He lines it to Yount. So when things are going wrong, they're going wrong. Here's Spencer. 3-9. Ground ball pitcher B. The runner's going to have to hold. So still stuck at second base is Soderholm. Now there's 2 outs for Downing. 3-10 for Downing. 1-17 is a single, but it's only 1 star. So you're going to have runners at first and third now with 2 outs. So even with 2 outs, he could not score because of that 1 star. And now here's Ralph Garr. Ralphie boy. Don't shoot his eye out. 3-3 is a walk. And that's going to load the bases. Bases are now loaded. Bases are now loaded with 2 outs. Had a kitty interruption. Bases loaded, 2 outs for Alan Bannister. 6-6. And they'll finally get on the board. 1-19 is a double with 2 stars. Single with 2 stars for a 20. But it's a double, 2 stars for Alan Bannister. So a 2-run double, and all of a sudden the Sox are back in the game. It's 5-2. So don't count them out just yet. 5-2, and now Augustine is tired. So they may need to go to the bullpen. Although they will let him face the order lefty on lefty and take their chances. He doesn't find a dot. So lefty on lefty against order. Second and third, 2 outs. 1-10. That's a double there for Orta. A 2-run double for George Orta. And all of a sudden it's 5-4, and that's it for Augustine. As much as he was cruising through 6, he just totally lost it in the 7th. And that's going to be all for Jerry Augustine. Eduardo Rodriguez, their closer, is going to come in. He can go multiple innings. You see his relief rating is a 4. He actually started some games too. He had 4 saves. Not sure if he's a set-out closer. I think it's more committee, but he's the one that's going to come in. to face Richie Zisk. It is now a 5-4 game. Just that quickly. Things can change. And the tying run sitting at second base in George Orta. He will not be held. He's a D stealer. But here's Richie Zisk. A base hit could tie the game right here. 111. Nope, ground ball to third. It's going to end the inning, but the Sox make it a profitable one, scoring 4 and cutting the lead to 5-4. And now, what will Steve Stone do? Sox bullpen is ready if needed, but Stoney's still out there. They're going to see if he can't make it stand. Here's Don Money. 1-5 for Money, struck him out. So Stoney. Incredible comeback by Steve Stone. Cooper, 5-10. That's a walk. So that's one notch against his point of weakness right there. Cooper is a B stealer, so he will have to be held. Here's Bando. 6-10 for Bando. It's a catcher X. That could be trouble. Brian Downing's not very good. Brian Downing is a 3E5 as a catcher. 3 and a 16 on the catcher. 3 and a 16 is a foul out, though, so we'll get by with that. And that's a 5. It's a rare play on a foul out. I don't think I've ever had that before. Let's see. Let's check out the rare play together on a foul out. And it says, on first base, the catcher fires a quick throw down to first, and the runner is picked off. There is a runner at first base, so the runner is picked off. So I'm wondering if that's also a foul out, and it can't be a foul out and a pickoff. So I'm thinking it's just a straight pickoff, and we redo the at bat. That's what I'm guessing. That's the only thing that makes sense. So instead of the foul out, we have a pickoff. So he's picked off 2-3 is Cecil Cooper. So 2 outs, base is clear for Sal Bando. 4-3 is a fly ball right field X. That is Richie Zisk. And Zisk checks in as a 4E6. 4 and a 17, he'll get to that, but that's an 18. That's got to be an error. When you get an 18 like that, that's almost a guaranteed 2-base error. And it is. Actually, it's a 3-base error when it's an 18. So that's a 3-base error on Richie Zisk. And now that pickoff looms very, very large. So E9, second error of the game on the Sox. As Stone made an error himself earlier. But puts a runner at third with 2 outs for Robin Yount. 5-9. Struck him out, so Stone works around that error. And how about that, folks? 5-4 after 7 complete. Who'd have thunk that Stone would have outlasted Augustine in this game? 5-4, and Stoney really only has 1 notch against his point of weakness now. So here's Rodriguez. He's back out to pitch the top of the 8th. And he'll be facing Lamar Johnson. But Lamar Johnson's mostly against a right-hander. I'm sorry, against a lefty pitcher. So they could think about subbing Oscar Gamble here. Or do you save Gamble for maybe Brian Downing in the 9th? So I think they're going to let Johnson hit and save Gamble for a more important at-bat. Johnson 1-6. He's still got a chance at a hit. 1-13 would do it for a single. And he does. So Johnson gets the single. How about that? Now what they might do and what they will do is pinch run because he's the DH. And he's pretty slow. So let's see if they got anybody on the bench that can run a little bit better than that. Have Tim Norbrook, the shortstop. So Tim Norbrook runs at a 13. He will be the new DH in place of Lamar Johnson. So Tim Norbrook is going to pinch run, take over as the DH. All right, so Soderholm is up. And Norbrook, check his rating again. He's a C sealer, so they will have to hold him. So that opens up the infield a little bit more. Here's Soderholm. 4-8 is another walk. So Soderholm walks. And all of a sudden, the Sox have a chance to take the lead here, or at least tie the game with a base hit. Chet Lemon is up. Chet Lemon. He's a C bunter, so not very good. Let him swing away. 1-5. Oh, 1-5 against a righty is a 1-5 triple, 6-20 for a double. So the Sox will at least tie the game, if not take the lead. It's a 3. It's a triple. The Sox have taken the lead. They've come all the way back, and they lead it 6-5. So don't count the Southside Hitmen out just yet. Chet Lemon with a key 2-run triple, and they lead it 6-5. Now the infield's going to have to come in against Jim Spencer. 3-5 for Spencer. He struck him out. That's a big out there. Out number 2. And now Downing, with them in the lead, they might go ahead and let Downing swing away. They'll save Gamble for another day or another inning. 6-8 and 1-13 is going to be a double for Downing. It's a 1. It's a double for Downing. So how about that? Downing doubles down. RBI double. 3 runs are in. Sox lead at 7-5. Downing will not be held as an E-stealer. And that may be all for Rodriguez. He's going to have to exit. And they're going to bring in Bob McClure, the lefty. Bob McClure, a lefty, is going to come on. Forgot to write Rodriguez in. So McClure, the lefty, will be facing the lefty Ralph Garr. And runner on second is Downing. He will not be held. 2-4 for Garr. Ground ball to short, and that's going to end it as Yount makes the play. But 3 runs for the Sox, and how about that? After that down 5-0, they've come back and have secured a 7-5 lead. And Steve Stone can actually be the winner in this game, believe it or not. It is possible. Stoney back out there, but they do have Hamilton and LeGros in the bullpen ready. Righty and a lefty in their bullpen if needed. And they probably will be needed. Here's Quirk, DH. I'm sorry, Quirk is the... Yeah, he's the DH. 2-3. 2-3 is a single. So Jamie Quirk with a base hit. He's an E-stealer. They're going to run for him as well. So let's see who they're going to bring in to pinch run. They will bring in 6. No, they don't want to. They want to save him maybe. No, they're going to use him. So Sixto Lescano will pinch run. That will force the Sox to hold him 1 because he's a C-stealer and he's a 15 runner. So Sixto Lescano is your new DH. And of course, pinch runner for Quirk. That brings up Sakata. He's 0 for 3. Do they think about pinch hitting for Sakata? I think they do. Want to try to play fair for both teams. But do they have a second baseman left? That's the question. I don't know if they have a second baseman on the bench. They got to have a second baseman on the bench somewhere. I think Bob Sheldon maybe. Check their backups here. Looks like Bob Sheldon. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to pinch hit for Sakata. Like I said, I want to try to play fair to both teams. So they're going to bring in Ed Kirkpatrick, a big power hitting left-hander, and he will pinch hit for Sakata. And then Bob Sheldon will come in and play second base. So Kirkpatrick, pinch hit for Sakata. All right, so runner Lescano will be held at first. 3-4, Kirkpatrick against a right-hander. 3-4 is a ground ball second base B. It's a fielder's choice. It's a 4-6. And now Kirkpatrick is on, but he's going to be lifted for a pinch runner. It's Bob Sheldon, who will take over and play second base as well. Sheldon doesn't run that well. He runs at a 10, but they might as well go and put him in there. He will not be held. And here is Charlie Moore. 6-11 against Stone is a walk. So Stoney right on the edge of fatigue. And with Von Joshua coming up, they're going to make a move to the bullpen. They're going to bring in lefty Dave Hamilton to face Von Joshua. Lefty on lefty matchup, but Dave Hamilton. And on the 77 season, he did have 9 saves. So he could go the distance, or they could just use him to try to get out of this inning and turn to LeGros in the 9th. We shall see. First and second, 1 out. Von Joshua. Now, do they pinch hit for Von Joshua? They could, and I think they will. So the wheels are turning. Steve Bry. Steve Bry is going to come on and pinch hit and stay in the game to play center field as well. So the moves are being made back and forth. The chess match continues. And Steve Bry is up Runners again will be held, or at least the runner on second will not be held. 5-6 against a right-hander, that's trouble. 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a single. It's a single, 2 stars, so the run will score as Sheldon scores to cut the lead to 7-6. Moore goes to third. And now trouble really brewing here for the Sox. That will bring up Jim Wolford. And with the righties coming up, you wonder if they're going to use Hamilton, continue to use Hamilton, or go to a right-hander. They're going to let Hamilton continue. They want to turn the double play. They're looking for 2. 2-2. 2-2 is a low max. How about that? Against Jim Wolford, against a left-handed pitcher, 2-2 is a low max. Had they brought a right-hander in, he would have walked. Against a left-hander, it's a low max. That's just what they needed. He will line out to second base. George Order will snag it, and he will throw to first to double off Bry from first base. And the Sox escape major catastrophe with that line-out double play, and they maintain the lead 7-6 as we go to the 9th. 7-6, we go to the 9th. McClure back out, and LeGros will be coming in for the Sox in the 9th to try to close it out, as Hamilton did his job. All bit shaky, but he did it. All right, so Bannister facing McClure. Let's make sure I've got everything where it needs to be. Okay. Sometimes things shift. All right, so Bannister leads off the 9th against McClure. 3-6 against a lefty. Ooh, 1-8 is a home run for Alan Bannister. 9-20 is a double. 15 is a double. Leadoff double for Alan Bannister. He doubled in the 7th. They got a lot of their things started. He doubles again. So Bannister with the leadoff double. He's a D-stealer. He will not be held. Here's George Order, lefty on lefty against McClure. 110, and that's a double. So George Order found another double. And just like that, the Sox get that run back and take an 8-6 lead. And that's going to do it for McClure. With Richie Zisk, the righty, coming up, they're going to the bullpen again. And they're going to bring in right-hander Bill Castro. Bill Castro is going to come on. He is really like their closer, but they're bringing them in to try to cut things off right here and there. So Castro will be coming on, facing Zisk. Runner at second is Orta. He will not be held. 3-7 for Zisk. Ground ball to second base C. That will get the runner to third with less than 2 outs. So now the infield's going to have to come in for Milwaukee. And Norbrook is the DH. Remember, he came in to pinch run, so this is where they're going to bring in Oscar Gamble to pinch hit and stay in the game to play DH. So they held Oscar Gamble back for this long, and now they're going to bring him in. Now, they could walk Gamble and take their chances with Soderholm, but Soderholm's done very well so far, so I think they're going to take their chances with Gamble. Infield is in. 1 out, runner at third. 4-11 for Castro. Fly ball left field X. And that's, unfortunately for them, that's Don Money. He's kind of out of position. He's a 4-E16. 4-15 is an outfielder. He might actually get to that. 4-15 is an F2. He's an E16 and a 7. There is no error there, but an F2 says sacrifice fly. So it's deep enough to score the sacrifice fly. And Orta will come in to score as a pinch hit sacrifice fly to left by Gamble. And that puts the Sox up 9-6. Extra insurance run never hurts. Here's Eric Soderholm now. 2 outs, bases clear. 5-5 on Castro. 1-7 is a home run. But he does have normal power, or 8-20 is a double. That's a double for Soderholm. His second double of the game, third hit. And the Hitmen were quiet for 6 innings, but they have erupted here in the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Here's Chet Lemon. 5-6. He's done it again. That'll be another run. 1-2 is a triple. 3-20 is a single, 2 stars. It's a single, but it's 2 stars, so Soderholm will score on the single by Chet Lemon. 3 runs are in. It is now 10-6 And actually now they're going to leave, I think they might leave Hamilton in the game because it's no longer a safe situation for LeGros. That's correct, RJ. You never give up, especially on the Sox. All right, Lemon will be held as a C stealer. Here's Jim Spencer. 3-7 for Spencer. Well, he's being held, so that ground ball first base A is going to get, with that plus sign, is going to get through for a base hit, 2 stars. So the fact they were holding him on cost them. They were holding him on because Lemon's a C stealer, so they had to hold him on. And that snuck through 4 base hits. Now runners are at the corners, 2 outs for Brian Downing. Spencer will not be held at first. 2-7 for Downing. He walks, and that's going to load the bases. Now the 9th man to bat in the inning. Ralph Garr is up. 6-12 against the lefty. Ground ball pitcher X, he's a 4E51. That's ugly. 4E51, a 4 and a 14 as a pitcher. 4 and a 14. He will get to it as a G2, but an E51 looks troublesome. E51, yep, that's the lowest rating you can have as a pitcher, and 10 is right in the middle of an error. So it's a 1 base error on Castro, and that will produce another run, unearned as it is, but they don't care. It's now 11-6. 11-6, and they batted around, so Bannister is going to come back to bat again. He led off the inning with a double. He's going to come back to bat again. Whoops, let me redo that because I missed the hole there. 1-9, ground ball to short. That will mercifully end the inning. So 4 runs are in. It's 11-6 in favor of the Sox. So, in fact, we will not have LeGros come in because there's no save anymore. And they don't want to use Hamilton again because they like to save him for the doubleheader to be able to be used. So they're going to bring in a schmuck, Jack Cusick. Jack Cusick, 0-1, 3.63 ERA. Does have relief rating of 4. He's more of a long reliever. But, or do they want to use him, or do they want to go to somebody that's not? Yeah, they still have other long relievers in their pen, so they'll stick with Cusick. So Cusick will be coming on. So Hamilton and then Cusick. So Jack Cusick trying to finish this thing out. If he gets in any kind of trouble at all, LeGros is still lingering in the pen. But they're hoping he can get through this with no problem. Here's Money. 111 for Money. Against a right-hander. It's a ground ball to first. Spencer's got it. 1 away. Here's Cecil Cooper. 210. Ground ball to the pitcher. So even a schmuck like Cusick is hanging in there. Here's Bando. 3-3 for Bando. Ground ball to short. That's going to do it. So Cusick goes a 1-2-3 9th. And the Sox, after being down 5-0 in the first, come back and win it in almost a laugher, 10-6. 10-6. I'm not going to worry about the hits and stuff. I'll let the computer figure that out when I enter it in the computer. But there you have it. Winning pitcher is Steve Stone, believe it or not, after all those troubles. He gets the win. Augustine, I believe, will take the loss. Let's see. When did he exit the game? No, it won't be Augustine. It'll be Rodriguez that takes the loss. Because Augustine didn't make it. He only gave up 4 runs, so it'll be Rodriguez taking the loss. So with the win, the Sox improved to 63-55, and Milwaukee drops to 60-66. So as we turn the page to game 119, it'll be a doubleheader against these same Milwaukee Brewers. They will try to, I got to put this in the computer first and then look at see who's fatigued and who can be available for the doubleheader. Before playing that, I'm going to probably play that offline. Although if I really want to be brave, I can do a doubleheader live, and that would be interesting to do that one time or another. But you're talking probably about almost a 2-hour video to do that. But we shall see what happens. So anyway, I wanted to get the Sox back on the table, and it looked awful bleak for the first 6. They were down 5-0, and it looked like they were going to get shellacked. But then the Hitmen came back against Augustine, Rodriguez, and later on McClure, and then finally Castro. They really dubbed Castro, their closer, up pretty good. So the Sox amazingly get the win. Now, it's probably not going to help them for the pennant because they're still about 10.5 games out, but for posterity and their peace of mind, they do get the win and avoid taking a terrible loss. So that's going to do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Stratomatic Chicago White Sox baseball, 1977 replay style. Game 118 in the books. And so when we got past this 100 mark, I felt like I was on a downhill slide for the 162. So now that once I get to about 120, then I really feel good about it. And we'll see about finishing that thing up. Now, next up, probably tomorrow, maybe, I don't know when, but it'll be the 1984 inside pitch replay, Seattle and Toronto. Mark Langston against Dave Stieb. But wanted to get this White Sox thing going again and co-opt it with the inside pitch deal. So again, happy Monday to everybody. I happen to be off today, which I really enjoy. Back to work tomorrow from home, but I enjoy when I can get a day off every once in a while. So it gives me a chance to roll some more games. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And as usual, I will see you all down the road.